last time, this wonderful drawing
appeared.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Perfect. I don't remember what this is. Oh, I remember what this is.
It's the
now.
town.
That's the town, and that's the woods.
Yeah, you guys were waiting for night. I'm assuming, I believe it was at the, you went back to the church.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything you wish to do between now, which is like 3 in the afternoon, and sunset?
There is something I'd like to do. Is it reasonable for me to go get a mirror?
Yeah, definitely.
How much would a mirror cost by chance?
Just like a basic mirror. How big do you want it? Like
I would like
something
a hand
you can
mirror.
hold in like a hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Like a silver
Silver? Okay, that sounds reasonable.
for like a good quality hand mirror.
Awesome. Yeah.
As you are buying this hand mirror, you see a very like ornately kind of decorated cart that's kind of like got like everything and anything like kind of hanging off of it kind of go through town.
Oh, interesting.
You see driving the cart this ratty-haired like half-elven girl. You couldn't call her a woman. She's got really big round glasses with like magnifiers on it. She's got like a big sun hat on and like several bags piled up on the cart front next to her as like she's like passing through town.
Okay, Howlite's going to really quickly pay for the hand mirror, thank the general goods seller, and head out to the street and see if I can catch up to this cart.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, especially because she's like you catch up to her like just outside of the gate where she's like stopped off on the side of the road and it's kind of like set up like a little shop. And she's just like hoisting down like things, like she's got like a small little table set up. She's got like a big rug laid out on the grass. And she doesn't notice you approach.
From a distance, what does it look to be that she's selling?
They look just kind of like a lot of the stuff she's setting out on the table just kind of look like random little objects, like little baubles.
Okay. Curious. Howlite will approach and just say, "Excuse me."
And she just like stands straight up, like you startled her, like turns around, like very promptly 180 degrees, and just goes, "Yeah, yes."
I could not help but notice your cart going through town.
Oh, you must not be from around here. I'm guessing.
Oh no, I just blew in this morning.
That makes sense. Well, the locals don't really like me.
They kind of tilt their head. Why's that?
Oh, 'cause I've burned down a building or two.
Howlite blinks, looks at the glass baubles, looks at this. I'm assuming she still looks young, yes?
Yeah, she's like a half-elf. Couldn't be older than 30.
Maybe I completely misjudged these. What are these?
Oh, well, these are just little glass charms. I've put some runes on them, mostly just for protection. A lot of them don't really do much. But if you're interested in some more powerful stuff, you can come inside.
Sure.
And she like pulls down the ladder at the back of the cart, and there's like a like red curtain in front of it, and she passes through, and you see like a little light come on.
I love that. My name's Howlite, by the way.
Oh, my name, well, you can just call me Ava.
Ava.
My full name is Aveline, but
Well, it is good to meet you, Ava. And they just kind of start looking around at this, like, new set of, enchanted stuff and, like, head into the cart, I'm assuming, yes?
cool. Yeah, as you like step into the cart, you realize, oh, there's a full shop in here.
Ooh.
Like you enter it, and it just feels like the space suddenly expands.
Ooh, yes!
Hello, welcome to your wandering magic salesman.
My, Howlite looks around. It's bigger on the inside. I'm sorry.
Yes, it gets bigger on the inside, and you see like shelves mostly filled with baubles, but there are some books lining the shelves. Like she has some spell books, but not many. There's some not the finest made leather armor, but some it looks like enchanted leather armor on one wall with some weapons. And then you see like a glass display case of like any little trinket and bauble that you could ever imagine, as well as some like semi-mechanical things.
You sure have quite the collection here.
Yeah, I inherited a lot from my dad,
Hmm.
but a lot of the stuff is mine that I've made.
Anything in particular that, I don't know, that you're particularly proud of, maybe?
Oh, this. She like ducks behind the counter and like pulls something from the bottom shelf of the display case, and you see a little sword charm on a necklace.
Ooh, okay.
And she like picks it up. Okay, so this, it
Hmm.
has a trigger word. And the trigger word for this is really it's nothing special. It's literally just cut, and the sword immediately grows into a long sword in her hand.
Oh my, that's very handy.
Yeah.
You know, that actually does remind me of something. Howlite pulls down their pack and starts, like, undoing a clasp and pulls out this, like, hefty, transparent orb. And she says, this artifact I came across also has a trigger word, but I've been incapable of finding what it is. Do you mind taking a look at it for me?
Oh, not at all. Which orb is this?
So it's the scrying orb that you said that shrinks with the trigger orb word, but I don't have the
Oh,
trigger word.
The shrinking. Okay. Cool. She's gonna take this for a couple minutes.
Excellent. Okay. While she's doing that,
Mhm.
uh, if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
I would like to inspect the quality of the runes. Does it seem like she's, I have enough magical experience of runes and such from traveling around to the different, tribes I've spoken with. And I want to specifically look like, does she seem like a novice enchanter? Is it possible, and here's my theory, that some of the runes were poorly inscribed, thus causing a magical backfire?
Um, all of the things that have runes inscribed are mostly made of glass.
Okay.
And a lot of them look very fine. She does not seem like a novice. She seems like she's been doing this for several years,
Okay.
at least. But you do see. Actually, give me a perception check.
Sounds good. Could I argue Arcana check for this?
No, and you'll find out why.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's really obvious. I was just looking for like anything above a 10.
Fair. I could have easily failed that though.
Yeah. Which is why I made you roll.
Yeah.
At the back of the cart, you see this like setup of like alchemical bottles, beakers, something like dripping into a different thing. She's titrating something. And you kind of get the feel of there may have been a horrible like alchemical
Oh.
accident.
Okay.
So while
Okay.
she is not a novice enchanter, she may be a novice in the terms of alchemy and artificing.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Howlite just kind of takes a step to the side, closer to where Eva is, like, looking at this bauble, and they just say, "So it seems you dabble in multiple magical practices."
Yeah. Mostly I've been kind of sticking to enchanting because whenever I try to make anything different, it's been a little bit of a struggle. I recently made this mechanical dragonfly. It's like a turnkey, and you wind it up and it flies around. It's really cool.
That sounds very interesting. Is it, they look around here somewhere?
She like stands on her toes, looking at like a shelf behind the counter, and she like reaches up and pulls something off, and you see a little brass dragonfly in her hand.
Ooh.
I ran out of wind like a little bit ago. I haven't had a chance to rewind it. Here. And she like pulls out a brass key and winds it up a few times, and then she places it in the palm of her hand, and the wings start flittering, and it flies up about like 4 feet above your head, and it just starts flying around the room.
They just sort of watch it for a little bit, very entranced by this little machine.
Yes. Is there anything you're interested in or looking for?
Well, I must be frank with you. There's a practical request and there is a more personal request. I'm going to start with the practical one. Would you happen to have anything capable of warding off undead?
She like sets down her pen as she like is writing. It's like, I have lots. What kind of thing are you looking for? Are you looking for like something that does like extra damage to the undead? Something that causes you to not be affected by undead as much? Are you looking for something that like makes you like not as scared of undead?
Fear doesn't seem to be the issue. I believe I have some compatriots who would prefer additional damage. I personally am looking for some type of warding talisman, you know, something that the undead themselves might fear.
So something similar to like what clerics do.
Yes, something along those lines.
Okay. I have let's see. Several swords and a few like sets of 4 arrows that do additional damage. They're over on that wall, though the arrows are behind this counter. If you're looking for something that like will do something to how clerics turn undead away and kind of return them to the earth, that may be something that's a little more custom. It's possible. I can do it. It would just take me a couple days.
Well, I do have the time, you see. I'm traveling with a group who's somewhat, I believe, dedicated is the word, to trying to find a solution to this undead problem here.
Oh, yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, I believe some of them might have more specific requests. I could bring them here.
Oh, absolutely. I would always love more customers. Here, here, here. And she pulls out these little bits of like parchment. Have my business card.
Oh my god, I love her. I will take the business card.
In like gold inlay on this like dark green parchment. Her full name is Aveline Merigone.
Aveline Merigone.
Artificer and collector of the fine arcana, or fine arcane, sorry. I can speak.
I love that title. Yes, I do believe if we can construct such a talisman, it would be imperative for the following days. I'll definitely get in touch with you again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and here, I was able to... Enchanting is a lot like just regular spellcraft, so it's kind of like weaving. And I figured it out in a way, and I've completely reset the trigger word for you.
Oh. So I can set one myself? Is that what you're saying?
So the next time that you use this, you can set a trigger word. Whatever language you want, whatever word you want. I suggest making it something a little more complicated than cut, and the sword on the table shrinks.
I like to imagine like 12 more in the back, just like also clatter.
No, she learned from her first mistake.
Ah, damn, okay. Howlite, gets sort of a, like, what's the name of that look? Just like a mildly secondhand embarrassed look, and it's just like, yes, I'll keep that in mind. Oh my god, I get to set my own word? I gotta come up with something stupid now.
Yeah, any language you want.
Any language, I'll definitely keep that in mind too. Pocket the business card, and then say, now, on the level of that personal request, thank you, by the way, for this. They take the scrying orb back. It's been rather hefty to carry ever since.
I assume as much. Where did you get it?
Well, you see,
That's a really fine quality.
in Saith, the city to the east of here, there was this unoccupied wizard's tower full of things like this.
Uh-huh. And you were tasked to go in there and, like...
Well, currently, we're on a, I believe mission's the right word. Yes, I think mission. To go and get the wizard back, as he went missing quite a while ago.
Mm.
We stopped in this town and, well, then we saw there was an issue here. A traveling companion of mine wanted to wait for shields, so we figured we'd do something in the meantime to try and help.
That makes sense.
Honestly, I got wrapped up in the whole thing sort of on a whim. What I'm really looking for is something a little bit more specific. I have not found it. I've traveled all across the continent and no one really seems to have anything that's a perfect solution. Are you familiar with the spell gaseous form?
Yeah. I've got plenty of potions for that.
Yes, well, what I'm looking for is like that, but far more powerful, I suppose, is maybe that's the right word. I wouldn't imagine you'd happen to have anything like that.
Something a little, like, permanent?
Yes,
Or at least, like, partially permanent?
partially, fully, just more freeing, I suppose.
Are we talking, like... Are we talking, like, hours? Days?
I suppose a toggle would be preferable.
Yeah, you can always toggle it. I'm just wondering, like, at max, when activated, like, are you looking for, like,
Maybe months?
months? Okay.
For now, I suppose. You said you do carry gaseous form potions.
I do.
Do you mind if I could take a few?
Oh, yeah, they're like 20. I'm gonna say like 25 gold each. It's probably a little cheap, but, like, I can make them pretty easy.
Okay. Let's see. They pull out their coin purse and they start counting through how much they've got. How does 3 sound?
3 potions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She, like, there's this, like, central pillar behind the counter, and she, like, pulls a lever right next to it, and it spins to the next, like, panel, which is, like, covered in potions. And she opens, like, the little glass door, and she pulls out 3 little, like, small light blue vials.
Thank you. I've been running low for quite a while. Howlite, like, hooks them into these specially designed, like, slots on, like, they pull their cloak to the side and there's, like, this belt with these, like vial slots, essentially, designed just for this. And then they hand over the 75 gold.
You are now 75 gold poorer.
Yeah, but I got some bottles. Oh, maybe this might help as well. I believe I'm going to go find my compatriots, but, before I go, thank you for all the help you've been.
You're welcome.
Here. They pull out of their sack one of the alchemical tomes that they took from the basement of, his name, Gavos?
Crossgovai.
And they say, I don't personally have too much use for this, but maybe it could help you?
Whoa. That looks really old. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm always trying to expand my book collection. It's not going very well. It's really hard to convince people, especially, like, people who are, like, stuffy wizards, to,
Yes.
share.
I noticed they think back to the room in the wizard tower just piled with barrels. Wizards don't seem to like to share. But, well, if there's going to be fighting going on in my vicinity, I would really hate for it to be pierced by a sword or otherwise.
She just like holds it to her chest. Her big like brown eyes and her glasses are like slightly magnified. And she just looks like this like sad little child, even though she's definitely not a child.
She's adorable. I love her.
She is adorable.
Oh, well, yes, I must be off, but, well, hopefully I'll be back within a few hours.
Yeah,
You'll still be here, I suppose.
I will definitely still be here, especially because I don't want to go through the forest at night.
That sounds reasonable, yes. Well, it was good to meet you, Ava.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
And they'll, like, sort of just wave off and step out of the cart.
Yeah, she'll step out after you just to make sure like nobody's standing at the little bubbles out front.
Mm.
And you see it's deserted.
No! I swear by the end of this I will get her business.
This is the most business she's had in weeks.
I feel bad for her. She's got cool stuff, dude.
She does have cool stuff.
Howlite is very happy after that encounter, and they're gonna head back to the, cathedral? Church?
Yeah, the Church of Palor.
Priesty place with all the sun
The priesty
people?
place.
The place that's too fucking bright?
The yellow place.
Over the yellow brick road.
Praise the sun, bitches. Precisely.
That was really fun.
What are you guys doing while Howlite has gotten distracted by this engineer girl?
Oh, I know Uryte was wanting to go back to the cathedral to talk to Guinevere.
Yeah. You walk back to the other end of town, where the Praise the Sun bitches reside. And you are once again kind of met with that like warm energy as you enter like the hallowed grounds.
Okay, let's see. Where is she? Where is she? Anyone see Guinevere?
Do we?
The tall people do. Uryte does not. Because there's a bunch of she's talking to a few people who are all taller than Uryte.
God, I hate being an ankle biter.
I love Uryte.
We'll get our chance soon enough.
Time to politely wait our turn.
Yeah, alright, just tell me whenever we're ready. Or it just pulls out like all the notes that he took from the basement. It's just mending as he waits.
Yeah. It's still a lot of unintelligible garble. And you see, like, the tall people see Guinevere, like, grab some blankets from, like, the front pews and hand them to these people who seem to be requesting their stay the night here. And then they walk off and are, like, led off by one of the other temple attendants to another room in the building. Without like trying to seem too excited, she like briskly walks up to you guys and is just like, "Did you find anything?"
Kind of like does that elbow into Erevan.
A few things, though not what we were originally looking for. Although when we were looking around for if he left any secret notes or something, we did find, I'm gonna pull out the box with the bracelet and the note, which is on top.
Yeah.
And hand it to her. We did find this.
She'll open it and you visibly see her like her breath hitches and like her eyes water as she like places a hand to her mouth. Thank you. This means so much to me.
The item your husband, personally, the magic items we found there were both items that could let you see the future. Was a pen that would let one write your own future.
It's cursed though.
Yes, to make you want to write and use it more. I think that your husband seeing his own future and trying to find a way to either change it or finding that he could not change it drove himself to insanity.
And that's what these notes are that I've been trying to repair with magic, but only so much you can do. Talks about a fever that is coming and some form of like magical sickness. The fever turns the people to dust after a while. Bones become weak and fragile. Legs breaking first, collapsing, possibly breaking from the weight. Not sure.
That's her brow furrows as she like places the box with the bracelet and the note in a pocket that you normally can't see in her robes unless she's like got her hand placed in it, that magical kind of pocket. And she like nods along as you're talking. I have never heard something like that before.
Yeah.
It could be a form of self-fulfilling prophecy. After all, this disease sounds like a necrotic disease.
So trees and whatnot were all fucky? And that there was like a sort of like disease that came from that or something?
If you're talking about the reverse bone rot in the trees, we have been trying to quarantine that for many years at this point. We have been trying to get rid of the diseased trees for a while, but there's only so far we can go into the woods. It gets very dangerous after, especially at night, or even close to sunset.
Yeah.
Is there anything else important that you found?
Says these notes, that cursed quill, that it definitely should not be used. It should be destroyed. So, yeah. Oh, you found a book, right? Celsus, something that talked about the gods being angry at the gods for having immortality or something like that.
Indeed.
Uh,
It doesn't seem to be anything special.
yeah.
Celsus kind of takes it out and starts flipping through it. It's like, and just says, it's almost like a children's story, in fact.
Children's stories sometimes hold some of the most interesting pieces of information. It's funny, the truths that you can find in it.
That is true. Sometimes, though, he closes the book. They're all nonsense.
Love this cranky fucking wizard, yes.
I'm glad you're taking a logical approach to this.
Well, I guess the only thing we can really do is just prepare and go in and try to stop this.
Indeed.
By chance, are you able to possibly give any holy water or some sort of blessing that would help if whenever we do go there?
I can, if you're looking to go in, say, tomorrow, I can prepare something for then. But tomorrow morning at the earliest is the time I can do it.
Tomorrow might be when we go in. I'm not sure. I can't talk since Howlite ain't here, so don't know what she's
thinking.
thinking.
I did notice your wispy friend is missing. Well, today is the big market day, so they may be there still. If there's anything else I can do, Howlite, at this point you're like walking in.
Oh yes, of course. Perfect comedic timing. Howlite walks in, jingling just slightly more than normal.
I see there's your wispy friend. I will let you deliberate and figure out if and when you will need a blessing.
Thank you.
Indeed.
They sort of hold up two fingers as if to like signal the other threes, like, I've got something to say. Just sort of standing at the back of the church.
Guinevere like bows her head slightly and then goes off to do something else.
Celsus is going over to Howlite.
Yeah, say what we're in.
Hello, everyone. Good news. On my small scouting around the town, I do believe I've found us a very valuable ally.
Hmm?
There's a shopkeeper in town. Her name is Ava. She's very nice. And she seems to be a rather skilled enchantress.
That could be handy.
Yes, I was wondering if, Howlite brings out the business card. And just sort of shows it to everyone. Yes, I did think that it might be a good idea to suggest, a possible assistance between her, maybe the Church of Palor? You know, something that specializes in making sure we're safe when entering an undead-filled forest. I spoke with her and she seems to be capable, although, of course, time is the main issue.
Well, we can at least go and see. We might have something we could make use of.
Yes, I believe she'd very much like to meet all of you.
I imagine she'd like to sell too, as well.
Howlite kind of cocks her head, just like, your wares are good. I see no problem in that.
Yeah, I'm broke, though.
I see a problem in that.
Might as well go see what she has anyway.
Howlite pulls out 5 gold and hands it to Uryte.
No. Cannot accept that. Matter
Are
of
you
principle.
sure?
It's a matter of principle.
What if I bought you a gift?
Then technically I could not say no to that.
This is a gift. They hold out 5 gold.
I was really hoping you were gonna do that.
You are so much worse than my son. Thank you.
They smile.
Tali, I was gonna message you if he if he denies it again, walk over to Celsus and say, "Hey, can I buy 5 gold for 5 gold?"
Are we going back to Ava?
I want to go back to Ava. I love Ava.
Yeah.
I had a dumb idea. On
You
the
had
way,
a dumb idea?
yeah. On the way back, Howlite's just going to be muttering some words in a language that I don't know if anyone knows. I'm muttering them in Primordial.
Nope.
I don't think anyone knows Primordial.
That is one of the ones I did not take.
And they're just holding they're holding the scrying orb, and I'm going to whisper a little magic into it, and I'm going to say in Primordial, bedazzle.
Bedazzle.
So the word in Primordial for bedazzle.
Yes.
I love it.
I figured out what I'm doing.
What a fucking nerd.
Shut up, it's funny.
Celsus, you said that book was like in Old Common Tongue, yeah?
Yes. Uncommon.
Do you think I could look at it later?
I don't see why not.
That's sweet, thanks. I'll let you look at these notes that I've been working on repair, and maybe you'll, more educated than I, might be able to figure something out.
Ah, lovely. I shall indeed take a look.
You all walk up to this, weird, there's, a small table covered in, little knickknacks and a big little rug, and there's, a half-elf tinkering with something, and, mildly, muttering under her breath in Elven, just, gently swearing at this thing as you all walk up. And as, you block the sun for a second, she looks up and, startled, she drops, her little tool, her, screwdriver that she's using. And she's like, oh! You're back!
Mm-hmm. I promised, of course.
Yeah. Hello. My name is Aveline. You can call me Ava. What can I do you for?
Well, we heard from our friend that you have some quality goods and you appear to be a skilled enchanter, so we figured we'd look around, see if there's anything we can't use.
Yeah, these are my simple baubles. Little spells, detect thoughts, there's a pyrotechnic spell here and there. They're all single-use, couple-use things. If you're looking for something a little more big, I've got some stuff in the cart if you'd like to come see.
Sure.
And she kind of looks to the rest of you, looking for, agreement.
I wouldn't mind seeing the dragonfly again.
Celsus will tag along.
Yep.
He'll follow, staying very quiet.
She will then lead you all up the little staircase into the cart. And Howlite, this is like a familiar sensation as like the space suddenly expands as you enter through the entryway. But for the rest of you, it's a little like jarring as you like enter into this space that you think would be like small, but it's very large.
Oh my.
Hmm. I think there was something like this back at the capital, although I don't think it has quite this dramatic.
Yeah, this was my dad's for the longest time. I kind of inherited the family business.
Hmm.
Yeah, feel free to look around. If you got questions about anything, let me know.
Who was your dad?
He was a guy named Dreer Marygon. He's not dead. Fun fact. I shouldn't talk about him like he's dead. He just was like, here, take the cart and do the business. Make me proud.
Celsus kind of breathes a sigh of relief and goes, "Oh, good. I don't have to pretend to."
My
give
mother's dead
orders."
though. She's
Oh.
been dead for years.
The sudden oh.
Yeah, that's live fine. I never really knew my mom. So.
Oh, thank God.
Howlite kind of like sneaks over a little bit closer to Ava and just sort of whispers to them, "Wind up the dragonfly."
She'll like point up into the air and still like flitting around.
Oh, it is? Damn.
She does pull out another little brass bug though, and just like kind of holds it in front of you and holds out the key. It's a little like ladybug.
Howlite holds it as if it's the most like fragile thing on the planet.
If it was gonna break in your hand, it would have broken in mine because I am not careful.
I try to be, especially with something so delicate. They wind up the ladybug.
The ladybug's like shell, as you wind it, the shell like kind of like comes apart in the way that like ladybug shells do, and then the wings start flapping and it like lifts off from your hand. And it's not as high as the dragonfly, but it's still like above your heads.
This is so cute. I love them.
Anything in particular you guys are looking for? I also do trades. I don't just deal in straight gold. So if you've got anything that you wish to, and that you're not planning on using, that's magical, we can do a trade.
Celsus mentally wishes that he had that pillow.
Yeah, she's gonna go back behind the counter and sit on her like wheelie stool that she has.
Oh, look at the weapons.
While this is all happening, since I've already looked around and stuff, Howlite's just gonna sit down and sort of start brewing one of their mutagens with some little bits of chicory from before.
Hell yeah.
Is everything labeled or?
There are little labels. Some of them are written in Elvish. Most of them are written in Common. Cool, you speak Elvish. Yeah, you can read all of them. You're looking at the weapons?
Yeah.
There's several just like +1 swords. There's a couple that are labeled like extra fire, like enchantments. There are several like in one, like there's the wall and then there's like this corner. And it's like a short corner, like a short wall. And then there's more. On the short wall there's like a little sign up above that says undead repellent, and there's a bunch of weapons. Though the undead repellent doesn't really have anything like heavy when it comes to the axe department. There's a couple hand axes, a couple heavy hammers, there's a lot of daggers. There's like a little basket that underneath the undead sign that's just got like a ton of daggers. There's also a little sign that says ask for arrows at desk.
I like to imagine it's exactly the same as like a modern day's like ask for cigarettes at desk type thing.
Yes. It's one of those things you kind of get the idea of like she's had a bunch of magical arrows stolen before, so she's just put them behind the counter. They range from like all of these things are pretty expensive. The daggers run about 500 gold, and each thing kind of gets progressively more expensive from there. Arrows are slightly less expensive.
Was that both the undead and the flame, or was that?
Oh, the flame. That's just the undead stuff. The flaming stuff. There's less of it, but there's more powerful weapons. Like there's like a great axe on the wall. There's more long swords. There's a great sword up at the very top of the wall.
Any battle axes there?
There's one or two, yeah. These are a little more expensive. In D&D terms, they would be a +1 and +1d4 fire damage, which would be about like 2,500 gold.
You said you did exchanges, yeah?
I do. Are you offering?
Well, I tend to use single-handed weapons so I can use my shield to shield my allies in battle. It's great. I don't tend to use this enchanted greatsword I found.
She like looks over, go, ooh, damn, where'd you get that?
Found it in a dead wizard's tower. Or missing wizard's tower. I think he might still be alive. Maybe.
Yeah, Howlite mentioned that.
I'll take both the flaming battle axe and the greatsword, and I'll put them both on the desk, on the counter.
She'll like pick up the greatsword. Can you tell me like
The blood gaze greatsword.
blood gazer, whatever it is?
Plus it's a 2d6 weapon with an extra 1d10 damage against the last creature that hit you.
She's gonna cast Identify on this real quick. She's like weighing it out, kind of like looking over the like quality, and she kind of like tilts it up and goes, interesting. Huh. And you want this for the great axe?
Not really. As I said, I use mostly one-handed, so the battle axe will...
Battle axe. Listen, I'm not a melee like weapons person.
Fair enough.
I specialize in throwing chemical mixtures and tossing out spells every once in a while. I don't really fight. But if you'd like to trade this, yeah, I think this would be about an equal trade. And she'll like kind of run her hand over the like inscriptions on the greatsword. Yeah.
Does it feel like an equal trade?
I mean, I'm not going to use it.
Would you like to insight check her?
Yeah, just make sure he's getting a good deal.
You think he's getting a good deal?
Yeah.
I'll roll insight too, just cause.
Yeah, you gather that she's like very impressed by this greatsword, but kind of overall they're about equal quality, but she's like really intrigued by, ooh, how can I improve this extra damage enchantment that I normally do on other weapons?
I appreciate her.
Another reason I don't use it is because that effect only happens once per day, and it's just a normal greatsword otherwise. So a +1 great axe with fire damage on a on a paladin of Palor is just too thematic for me to pass up. I'm making that deal.
Yeah.
Goodbye, blood gaze. Hello, battle axe. +1 battle axe with fire.
Blood gaze.
Please. I don't know how it would ever come up. I just want her to somehow use blood gaze at some point.
She's gonna hit the lever on the center pillar, and all of you see it spin, and she like stops it at like this empty, kind of semi-empty, like hangar space. She's gonna place the greatsword up there, and then hit the lever again.
Yes.
And it goes back to the potions.
Anything labeled with curses?
Nothing labeled with curses.
The section that you said had like books and scrolls, and it's just looking over pretty much everything there.
Celsus we'll look at the scroll area. That's kind of fun. Yeah.
It's not a lot of scrolls, but there's some like basic like identify scrolls, alarm, fairy fire, blur, invisibility, and a couple other things. Nothing above 2nd level.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Any interesting books, Kat?
A lot of them are like basic alchemical books. Some like minor spell books that she's probably traded from like other low-level wizards.
Seeing like a spell book from like another wizard, you'll just kind of stare at it and be like, "Yeah, this might be something you're more interested in, Celsus."
Sorry, that's an entire spell book? Where did those come from?
Bought them from another wizard?
There were trades.
Interesting.
Celsus can't comprehend the concept of giving up spells for a trade.
Celsus cannot comprehend the idea of kindness.
Celsus cannot understand the concept of having 2 spell books and giving one of them away.
No, it actually is hard for him to understand that.
And you close the book after looking over, see him invisible, and just shake his head. It's like, yeah, no. Don't understand a lick of this. This is wizard stuff.
Wizard shit. Gross.
Complicated at times.
Give me some wizard shit.
Turn to her and be like, "How long will you be in this town?"
I don't normally like to stay here more than like a week at max. They don't. I'm not really the. They're not fond of me here.
I see.
Why is that?
All right.
I may have burned down the church many years ago.
Oh,
Okay, and?
I burned down the church in a city that gets attacked frequently by undead.
I'm failing to see a problem as long as you took responsibility.
I did. And then they were like, you cannot stay in the town. And I always stay out of the town now. But I don't think they like me very much.
Howlite holds up a finger. To be fair, people are allowed to be wrong.
that's an amazing line. When Celsus hears that, Celsus like nods approvingly. Of just like, yes, that is wise.
Dumb question. Do you by chance sell any sort of like blank scrolls for putting down spells of someone else's?
Yeah, I've got blank scrolls.
How much do those usually go for?
How fine of parchment do you want?
Something that'll get the job done.
Something that'll get the job done. It's like I'd probably say 2 gold.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Here, I can get one of those, please. And over 2 gold.
She'll like pull out a ladder from the wall and climb up to the top of the potion shelf and drop down a scroll with a nice like little like close thingy ribbon. And as you place the gold on a table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how tall is the counter? Is it taller than 2 foot 5 inches?
Small man.
They come up to like your nose.
He'll kind of like do that thing of like, pull yourself with your arms up and just holding with one and put the gold up there and then fall down.
The people who are tall enough will see this, but like where the gold is set, a little part of the table opens and they drop into like a chute.
Oddly specific.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, I've got
no.
squares set all over.
What?
They all go to the same like bag of gold.
Hey, did something cool happen and because I'm so damn short I couldn't see it again?
Yes.
Roughly.
Do you
I
want me
fell off
to
a
lift
Bahamut. That's fine, that's fine. Ugh. Well, I got what I wanted at least. I can use this later. Thank you, Miss Ava.
You're welcome.
Oh, right. Heck, I forgot to highlight. Are we going tomorrow to try and tackle this forest issue, or are we going to wait a little longer?
Oh, I wanted to reroute with the paladins first. I figured going alone would be foolish.
Oh, yeah, that's why I was like, talk to them. What's her name? Guinevere said that she could give us a blessing tomorrow if we wanted, or...
Yes, that was another thing I had in mind. Ava, you showed me all of those enchanted, weapons that are good with undead. Do you think we could get your assistance in this?
Possibly. You have to make sure that the people at the church agree, because
It's probably why the church is so big and new looking, isn't it?
Hey, that's a bonus.
That might prove troublesome. Uryte,
Hi.
do you mind handling a little more of the talking?
Negotiations were always a good strong suit of mine.
They are not of mine. No, I might just make things worse. I think back. Maybe if we show some way to the people that if we're going to fix the problem they were so worried about to begin with, could they be mad?
That is a loaded question.
I do not know. Ava, what extent do they, dislike you, I suppose?
She just like furrows her brow and just kind of like bites her lip as she thinks, what? It burned down their temple.
Maybe
But
Made of
we
stone.
pretend that we made them, and then once we take the woods, we reveal it was you.
Wait, hang on. You burned down a temple made of stone?
Yes,
How?
Alchemy does
it's
that.
chemical. I mean, it also kills undead really, really well.
You're not wrong.
But anything made of stone also disintegrates.
Huh.
I did not realize that was a side effect.
I mean, that's useful.
It is useful, but it's a compound not allowed in the town.
Is it allowed in the forest?
I don't know what it'll do to trees.
Shall we find out?
Well, hang on. Actually, wait. Wouldn't something bad happen if we burned down those trees with the whatever rot?
It also might start a forest fire.
Howlite, that's a smart idea. He does like the backhand smack on like Howlite's like leg. Just she can come up with a compound that can reverse what the necromancy has done to the trees.
I can?
You're smart. You'll think of something.
I am?
Ava concerned look, and they look at Ava just like, can you do that?
I can sure try.
Exactly, and that's
I might need a little help. Are you guys good at equations?
points at the wizard.
Thumbstick towards the wizard.
What type of equations?
Chemical equations. And keeping track of lists.
No offense to the wizard, but I think I know that better.
Oh right, you do make all your own mutagens.
They finished making the celerity mutagen that they were like working on with the chicory. I'm surprised you noticed. They've been doing that this whole time.
Muta what?
Well, if you and... I don't know your name. I don't know any of your names except for Howlite.
Erevan.
Erevan.
I'm Uryte.
Nice to meet you. And you?
Quiet man over there is Celsus. He's brooding, probably. Or he's really into that spellbook.
Yes, he might be a little wild. He's, Celsus nose deep in a book. He likes to ignore us, yes.
I can understand that. I, don't often like people myself. But if you wish to, she, kind of leads you to the back of the cart. And, like, on the other side of the pillar, you now see that she's got, like, a couple chalkboards along, like, right behind the pillar.
Cool.
Across from her, like, alchemy setup. Yeah, I just need you to write things and possibly give me suggestions.
If I'm not too much trouble, then I would not mind helping.
Yeah.
Looks like he's put the book down. Hey, Celsus,
Welcome back to reality.
Yes.
how good are you with alchemy stuff?
And or chemicals.
I wouldn't say that I'm the worst with them.
Can you hold a bottle?
I do believe that I have that ability, yes.
Cool. Come here. Hold this bottle.
I'll hold the bottle.
Cool. You two collectively are giving her advantage on this
Hell yeah.
intelligence check that I'm making
Nice.
her do. To try to make a compound to reverse the leaf rot.
While she's doing that, are you just gonna start playing a little bit of, soothing background music to give a bardic
Bardic.
inspiration dice?
Bardic inspiration dice. She rolled really well. I'm gonna tell you that. She rolled
Yeah.
really well. She gets a good start on it. I'm not gonna say she does it yet, but she's gotten a start, and like, as she like kind of comes out of like her like, scientisty like zone, she like blinks and is like, "It's getting late.
Yeah, it's like 6:30-ish.
Yeah, the sun's gonna go down in like 20 minutes.
Do you
Yeah.
normally stay in town, or do you...
I normally lock up here."
Well, I was going to do a little scouting tonight on the roofs. Suppose I'll stick in the area.
You guys are welcome to stay here. Otherwise, I should probably close up pretty soon.
I think I would like to head back into town and keep an eye on things there. Celsus, you want to come with?
Sure.
Perfect.
Maybe smooth some things over with the church, just a little.
That's actually a smart idea, too.
Howlite's gonna, from there, after like we all converse and decide what we're all doing for the night, find their way up to the roofs and find a good perch.
Yeah,
And
not
wait.
too hard. You all go back, whether that to be the church or onto the roofs, as the sun begins setting.
I'm probably gonna stay around the area of the cart and just sort of watch how they move over there.
Cool.
Good idea. Good idea.
I'm gonna stay. Are we staying at the church, or did we have an inn? I don't remember.
We
There's
don't
not
think-
really an inn here.
Not be outside, but I want to basically prop myself up near a window and watch out the window of the church.
Once they get back to the church, it's gonna kind of like look up at Celsus and be like, "So, there's a thing I want to try, and I might want your help with it."
Oh,
So I bought that spell scroll, right?
yes.
I want to see what would happen if I tried to use my good memory to write down something I read from a book on it. See if you couldn't, put that in your spell book or whatever.
Interesting. I've been known to experiment every so often.
It's not that.
Who's ready to explode?
I'm ready to watch this madness. Just hear an explosion in the distance, like, oh no, not the church again.
Okay, so you want to transcribe this spell that you read onto the scroll that you have?
Uh-huh.
Pilfering spell recipes using wizard eyes.
Sure. Can you give me just an intelligence check?
I'm optimistic, but I'm not holding my breath. I think that's the best way to say this.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
So you got all of the like verbal components,
But I'm missing.
but you're really there's a lot missing here, and you're like trying to remember like the little details and like the notes, but the handwriting, it was just too much. It was too squiggly.
He's just like pinching his brow, visibly annoyed. Just no, that's not right. Crap, no, how did I forget that already?
It does tend to be difficult.
Right. Well, that one was a bust, but
Oh well. I am going to look at those spell books when I get a chance, though.
Guinevere, go home already.
Guinevere is still at the temple.
Hey, Guinevere.
Yeah.
Don't know what the proper title is to call you. Sorry, I'm.
Oh, my name is just fine.
All right. We talked to an alchemist nearby, and
She immediately knows who it is.
she means well, at least.
I'm sure she does.
And you know how you said that there was an issue with the tree stuff, right?
Yes.
She's actually making some headway with my allies' help on a possible fix for that.
Mm.
That doesn't involve fire. I can guarantee that much at least.
And it doesn't dissolve.
No, it shouldn't. Do you think we could, get the both of you to help us, Church and her alchemy?
I will consider it.
That is the most I can ask. Also, by chance, do you have any way to better contain a cursed artifact?
We own at least a couple lead boxes if you wish to.
Immensely, please.
Absolutely. I will have one of the attendants fetch one.
Thank you.
And she, signals to one of the people by one of the doors, and they leave. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I believe Celsus might as well. Is it alright if we stay here for the night?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I think Erevan set himself up outside the temple, so if you see him out there, don't be surprised. He's probably just doing his typical, I'm gonna protect things.
Yeah, of course. Your help is greatly appreciated in all these times.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna go back to him and
Have a nice night. Be safe.
you as well. We're gonna head back to Celsus.
Well, now that that is done, now I suppose we simply see what happens tonight.
Yep.
I personally am going to go to bed early so that we have all of our energy for tomorrow.
Very fair. I also hope that Howlite finds either a really nice roof to sleep on or gets in somewhere after she does her scouting.
How can a roof be comfortable?
You would be surprised. Some of them are flat, so you can get a nice, comfy bedroll on there.
Odd.
Teach the wizard the magics of sleeping on roofs one day.
As you're finishing your talk with Guinevere, it's 7:30, and it's the middle of fall, so by now it's quite dark, and it's the very end of sundown.
Then yeah, stay up 2 hours and then long rest for
You're gonna 2 hours long rest? Okay. So the first couple hours are pretty quiet, and at the end, it's really at the end of those 2 hours, once the moon has kind of gotten pretty decently far into the sky, that you see specifically Uryte and Erevan.
I was just inside, the front door. I propped myself looking out a window.
Yeah, cool. You see a small group of undead when the moon is up over the horizon and well into the sky. You see some zombies, skeletons. There's one larger skeleton. You don't know of what original race that skeleton was.
No obvious horns to say Minotaur.
No obvious horns. And you see them and they pass by, and about 30 minutes later you see a different group. And then it's the end of that first 2 hours. You see a small group of undead. Not always the same one, but you see very similar groups. Couldn't be more than maybe 4 or 5 in the town, but it's enough to be worrisome. And in the distance you hear banging on doors, and at one point you hear the shattering of a window. So there couldn't be more than 20, 25 in the city.
Can you see Guinevere's
Guinevere's
house? Yeah.
I probably can't. It's on.
You probably can't. That's in the center of the town, where the church is kind of on the western edge.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just kind of see these roaming parties. Can you both give me perception checks? You don't really notice anything special about any of these. They just seem kind of general undead, some zombies. You do see one minotaur skeleton.
The
bones.
boo.
Richard, are you planning on staying up any longer?
No. He's got to sleep. He needs his long rest.
I will do a tally then.
Hi there.
I'm gonna do yours in 4 hours. So if you would give me a perception check for like that first 4 hours, as like it's kind of quiet, and then the groups of undead start roaming around.
Yeah, so I do have an idea to help me be able to do this better if you'd hear me out.
Sure.
So while they're up on the roofs, they're going to be essentially staying very low to the ground, like trying to keep their body, their silhouette unrecognizable up there, right?
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the edge of one of the rooftops, and I'm going to take out that hand mirror I got, and I'm going to use it to give myself an angle on, theoretically, where the street would be, while avoiding the perception of the undead.
Yeah, go for it. I would still say that's just a perception. I was going to make you roll a stealth check, but if you're intentionally doing that, I won't make you roll stealth.
Sweet. Okay, that was what it was for.
Yeah, these first 4 hours, you don't really notice anything like stranger than what I described to Erevan and Uryte. There's a bunch of, you couldn't say more than like 30 undead kind of wandering the cities in small groups.
Which directions are they heading?
They're just kind of following any street they come across.
So
It
all
seems
directions?
Yes, all directions.
Do you
They come from the entrances that were talked about earlier.
Okay. You said they were in parties?
Yeah, like small groups. Couldn't be more than 7.
Do I ever see one on their own?
No.
That's interesting. Okay.
In fact, one of the first groups that you see is the one with the Minotaur skeleton.
Okay. Am I able to get a gauge on, like, what race these zombies and such are?
Can you give me a history check?
Sure.
Humanoid.
Humanoid,
They're
okay.
generally humanoid. There's a couple smaller ones that you can probably guess are like from like halflings.
Okay.
You don't see many like dragon-esque. You don't see any dragon-esque like dragonborns, half-dragons, kobolds. You don't see anything small enough to be a gnome. But any of the like medium-sized and larger races are kind of up in the air.
So it seems to be primarily the body types I'd expect from this geographic location.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Lots of human size, lots of slightly taller, perhaps an elf.
Mhm.
And then there's the possible really tall ones that are like, oh, maybe it's a Goliath
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
thing.
Okay. The Minotaurs are strange. Those are interesting. Alright. Sounds good.
Yeah, alright.
Oh, this is also curious. Did they ever try and go up to the cart?
No.
No. Okay.
In fact, like the ones that like kind of wander off the path seem to be kind of repelled from the cart.
Interesting. Okay.
And you're staying up all night?
Yep.
Cool. I'll need another perception check.
Okay.
Oh!
Yes! Natural
Nice,
20.
You notice something kind of strange in the second set of hours. In one of the parties, one of the medium-sized, like, zombies. You didn't notice this before because it wasn't very bright, but you notice it now as, like, your eyes have, like, fully adjusted to the darkness. And the moon kind of helps enhance this. One of the zombies is holding this blue lantern.
Oh. Okay.
You can probably assume that it's magical based on that it's blue.
Yeah, how blue? Like cobalt blue or just like soft blue?
Like a soft, like light blue. Nothing. It's not like a heavy dark blue, but it's like a dim light blue.
Okay. Kind of like this type of blue.
Kind of similar to how your skin looks.
Okay, all right. It's a me lantern.
It's a you lantern. Can you just give me an intelligence check? I just want to see if like you could put this together.
Okay.
This is this is like an identifying pattern thing. You kind of guess that this basically every time that this group passes, you notice the next group is following you the exact same way, and then you like start putting it together. Oh, it's like a train. They're all following this one zombie with the lantern.
I see. And I keep seeing. Okay. You're telling me I saw this zombie before?
You've seen this group before, and before it seemed kind of random, but then you like notice the lantern is like glowing,
Yeah.
and like an active lantern, and then you start putting it together. Oh, this is like a patrol.
Yeah, I gotcha. And they're following
And this is just
that guy.
Follow the light.
Interesting. So, yeah. So I have a bad idea and I have a good idea.
What's your bad idea?
Well, I can explain to you why this won't work immediately, but my bad idea is trying to shoot out the lantern and seeing what happens, but I'm pretty sure I know what's gonna happen, and that's that they're gonna scatter.
Yeah.
And that is not gonna be good for the city, so I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is a little bit outside of the realms of what...
Unorthodox?
It's unorthodox, yes, so you can tell me if this is just not doable. But what I want Howlite to do is slit their wrist, draw a little bit of blood, and take out one of those gold bangles from the Banshee before, yes? And put a little whisper of magic into the gold bangle, toss it down at the zombie, and cast my blood curse of binding between the bangle and the zombie.
What does your blood curse of binding do?
So what it does is it can bind a creature to make it so that it cannot move any longer. It essentially locks it in place. So what I'm thinking is, if I bind the earring to the zombie, I can attach the earring to like its ear or something, or its clothes. You think that's doable?
Wouldn't be able to remove it?
I'm hoping that it wouldn't notice. And I'm doing this just to simply like be the equivalent of like tagging it, like marking it so I know it's that zombie.
Right, definitely. I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think you're gonna have to roll me sleight of hand.
Okay.
And is your blood curse of binding kind of like is it like a per day thing?
It is a bonus action once per day thing.
Cool.
I can also amplify.
You just won't have that until you long rest.
Yeah.
Obviously. You're gonna be fucked in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a rough day tomorrow, but I'm planning on taking tomorrow off so I can recover.
Right.
I'll be fine. Stayed up all night before. I'm not planning on going into the woods tomorrow. That's my thought.
Give me a sleight of hand. Oh, really good. I actually have to roll since this is the weird zombie.
The weird zombie. I'm really hoping he doesn't notice this. Just basically having it sound like a soft breeze of wind going by him.
Yeah, the earring, like you're tossing it off the roof onto this zombie. It catches on its clothes, and the zombie pauses. It kind of like swings its head left and right before kind of groaning and like continuing on. That zombie rolled fucking high. It rolled the 20. Not a dirty. It was a dirty 20.
Whew. Thank goodness. Okay. Alright. Barely managed to succeed. Hell yeah. Okay. Now I can enact the second phase of my plan, which is throughout the rest of the night, I am going to specifically watch for the earring. Okay. I know I saw the lantern again, but I want to make dead certain that this is the only lantern zombie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can give me one more perception check for the rest of the night.
Okay. Here goes nothing. Come on, I knew it! I knew my luck couldn't hold out! I knew it couldn't hold out! God damn it! Oh, it was such a good plan!
And Howlite went to sleep.
Dice gods, please!
Oh, here. Dice gods, or God of the Realm, will be really nice. Roll it again. Say it's at advantage because you're looking for your specific thing that you put on this thing.
Thank you, dice gods. You're amazing.
Crit fail again. Do it.
Did you watch?
How funny.
Oh, thank God.
okay.
Okay.
That would have been so hilarious.
That would have been
Okay.
hilarious if it failed.
If it happened again, I'd just accept it, man.
Yeah.
I feel yeah.
You see this earring like several times throughout the night. It's like once an hour,
Once an hour. Okay.
roughly. Which you can then determine that it's not going down every street. It's going down a lot of them.
Okay. It's going down most of the streets. Are there any streets that I can notice that it specifically avoids?
You notice that it doesn't go down like some of the narrow alleyways.
Okay. That
Where you
makes
are,
sense. That makes
and
sense.
like the spaces like between the houses.
Thin spaces.
Yes,
So, is this the only lantern zombie?
it is the only lantern zombie.
Okay. That is really good to know. Okay. Do I have a general guess as to how many undead are in the town right now?
Yeah, you can definitely count them as like it's approaching sunrise. It's probably like 26.
26?
Yeah.
It's actually a lot less than I thought. Okay.
So that is counting the rather large ones that are.
Yeah.
There's like there's like a medium large one, and then there's the one minotaur skeleton.
There's a lot of dudes. Definitely more than we could handle all at once, but... Alright. Yeah, that is some really important information. Okay. Alright.
Man, if you had failed that sleight of hand check,
Dude.
I was gonna throw you into initiative.
Sounds about right. That dude is scary. I can't believe he was that aware that a gust of wind with an earring on it alerted him. As an undead, that is like...
Yeah.
That's a high-level undead. I'm
Yeah.
not fucking with him.
That's like, I'm still conscious undead.
Yeah. Did you say human, Cat?
For the guy?
Yes.
For the zombie? That one? You think it's human? Like, you're, like, pretty confident it's a human zombie.
Okay. Human or very close to human. No pointy ears.
No pointy ears.
How many more hours in the night are there left?
You're approaching sunrise at this
Okay.
last perception check, and they start leaving town, like, at the first light of the day.
Howlite's gonna at least try and catch a few hours of sleep. Maybe wake up at like 10.
Yeah, you can definitely get almost 4 hours.
Okay. So they'll be a little groggy, but they'll at least have some sleep.
When do the rest of you guys get up?
Probably at, like a normal time.
A normal time? How
I
early?
rise with the dawn.
Okay,
Jesus
praise the
Christ.
sun, man.
Okay, Sir Edge.
I'm the sun worshipper. What do you expect? There's probably prayers I have to do at dawn.
There are definitely prayers you have to do at dawn. You wake up, Guinevere is there already.
Right.
Howlite's sleeping on a roof.
Yep. No bedroll. They just like it that way. They sleep with their
They've
cloak
just
wrapped
decided,
all around
"This looks like a
them.
good spot. Flop.
Yeah, no, I imagine they sleep like sort of like partially angled up against like a chimney or something with like their cloak
Yeah.
wrapped around them like a blanket.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they've done this a lot.
Celsus and Uryte, I'm assuming you're waking up at a decent time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do as you rise to start your day?
For the sake of brevity, can I just reconvene with everyone and share what I learned?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You guys learn about Mr. Lantern Zombie.
That's interesting.
Indeed.
Yes, he seemed far more alert than the others.
And we're not fully sure what that lantern does. It could be as simple as it just keeps the attention or controls those other undead, or it can...
Could be an amplification spell. Say there's
Yeah.
a controlling spell coming from some source, and the lantern simply makes it reach city-wide.
Yeah. Or some form of, like, amalgamation of stuff, even. Ugh.
I don't know for sure, but I managed to mark him at least, so...
Oh, heck. If you've marked him, Celsus, do you got any sort of tracking magic?
Not particularly.
We could ask that Ava girl. She might have a scroll. And
Howlite brings out the other 7 bangles that they have, and just bangles, and shows them like, yes, and we have a perfect copy for the sake of tracking here.
Mhm.
No need to guess.
We also got 6 days on those shields, and we just want to wait for them to get done. So you two are beefier.
I'm not stepping foot into those woods until I am well armored, yes. I would suggest we all do that.
Kind of looks himself up and down, and then like over at like the people that wear actual heavy armor or like medium armor, just
Prepared if the word does not suit you.
prepared. Yeah, that one's a lot better. I think I'm mostly okay item wise.
We do not have enough backing yet. Us
Yeah.
4 alone will not be able to take them all. We need the assistance of the paladins.
Oh yeah, no. If we want to skirt around them, that's actually doable, probably with the 4 of us.
I would like to disagree. Mayhaps me alone, but with you 3 along, there's no way I could hide.
I think it could be done with enough preparation, though it's not my first choice.
I think waiting until our numbers are greater is the better option. Safety and all that. Don't want anyone dying here.
No. No, we do not.
Well, I'm going to go speak with Ava. Howlite's gonna head off, sort of unceremoniously as they do, and head over to the cart.
Yeah, the cart is there, and as you like show up, Ava is like just kind of bored, like twiddling with a little like brass orb.
Good day.
Hi. Good morning.
Well, we have a little bit more of a lead on what's going on than yesterday.
Wow. What's happening?
Well, there's one of the zombies that's marginally different. They're going to share the whole thing about the lantern.
Yeah, go for it. That's odd.
Yes, my traveling companions would like to track this zombie, hopefully get a clearer direction for the woods. Do you know or have any tracking spells here?
Not currently. Those do take a couple days to make, and I'm not the most proficient at like making. It's a little bit above my normal pay grade. I'm not the best with magic. I'm better at making objects. So it would take me a little bit of time, but I could make you one.
Would that mess with working on your formulas at all?
Probably not. Just give me something to do while I'm thinking about chemicals.
Yes, I think it would be really helpful if that's not too much trouble.
Not at all.
Howlite is like going through their bag and they pull out this like golden vial and they just look at it for a second, just like, oh, I forgot I had this. Well, I do have something that might help with the tracking spell. Possibly, maybe. I'm not quite sure. They hand, or they at least show Ava, it's the potion of that allows you to like be vividly aware of gold and smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put a gold bangle on that zombie.
Yeah, you know.
So they're just like, could we?
This is interesting. I've never seen a potion like this.
Neither have I. The alchemist here was, Well, he was studying some very odd things.
I can understand that. I do not blame him.
Yes, seems to be the commonality. Everyone's got their own interests. But yes, do you think this could work?
I think this could definitely help. It might not be as precise as something, say, like locate object.
Yes, but I remember that, well, if capabilities are of a concern, this might work in a pinch.
Definitely.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. How much would you, normally charge for this type of a thing?
Probably something along the lines of like 1,000 gold.
Howlite sits for a second. No matter how much I wish to pay that, I do not have that much gold. Not even close.
Understandable. It's just kind of, if I charge any less, I'll be losing a lot of money.
I don't want you to lose money. No, that is not what I'm saying. I simply... If I could convince them, maybe. I'll see if I can do anything. Otherwise I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, take your time.
Right. Before they just sort of walk out, Howlite just simply also asks, "Oh, can I see the dragonfly once more?"
She like picks up and winds up the dragonfly. You know, if you want this, you can have it.
Oh? Did not realize it was for sale.
Yeah, I can make these in a pinch. These are real easy.
It's really pretty. If that's not, how much is that on sale for?
I would say like 10 gold.
Howlite just a little bit too quickly pulls out 10 gold.
I'm a mechanical dragonfly.
Hell yeah! That's my best purchase all day. No, for like Ava's sake, Howlite seems incredibly happy at this.
I hope you can figure this out. Seems like quite a predicament.
Yes. We're working on it. My traveling companions are they seem quite skilled, so I do believe they'll be able to figure something out. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
Thank you. They'd start winding up the little dragonfly and just like sort of let it buzz around their head for a little bit.
Ava goes back to fiddling with whatever orb she was fiddling with before.
Is there like a post system?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna send a letter.
Alright. Tombs to wear.
Cleric Regis Kelly, Church of Palor, safe.
Right, that's his name.
Oh yeah, Regis Kelly, R. Kelly.
Oh
We're getting
yeah.
R. Kelly to help.
I could send it to the head priest, but I'm on better terms with Regis.
Regis tries to be a approachable man.
Good guy.
Send a letter detailing that there's basically everything I've been told by the group, that there's undead and there's like 30 of them, some of which are much larger and more powerful, that have been attacking this town for the last 20 years. There's a necromancer that's controlling them, and gonna send a few paladins or clerics that are willing to help deal with them.
Yeah. Alright. Easy enough. You send a letter. It costs you 5 copper.
Fuck, we're broke.
Fantastic.